Dear students, today we are going to discuss the question paper BEGE 103 elective course English Communication Skills in English, December 2018. Let's move to the first question. Write a short note on proxemics. Proxemics, definition and history. Proxemics is a study of human use of space and the effects that population density have on behavior, communication, and social interaction. Proxemics is one among several subcategories in the study of non-verbal communication, including haptics, touch, kinesthetics, body movements, vocalics, paralanguage, and chronomics, structure of time. Edward T. Hall, the cultural anthropologist who coined the term in 1963, the hidden dimension. Hall emphasized the impact of proxemic behavior, the use of space, on interpersonal communication. Proxemics remain a hidden component of interpersonal communication that is uncovered through observation and strongly influenced by culture. Types of proxemics. There are 4 categories in proxemic, namely intimate, personal, social, and public. Intimate. Intimate distance is that which is used for very confidential communications. The zone of distance is characterized by 0 to 2 feet of space between two individuals. An example of intimate distance is 2 people hugging, holding hands, or standing side by side. People in intimate distance share a unique level of comfort with one another. Those who are not comfortable with someone who approaches them in the intimate zone will experience a great deal of social discomfort or awkwardness. Example of intimate proxemics. Now, second one is personal. Personal distance is used for talking with family and close friends. Although it gives a person a little more space than intimate distance, it is still very close in proximity to that of intimacy and may involve touching. Personal distance can range from 2 to 4 feet. Like intimate distance, if a stranger approaches someone in the personal zone, he or she is likely to feel uncomfortable being in such close proximity with a stranger. Example of personal proxemics. Third one is social. Social distance is used in business transaction, meetings, new people, and interaction with groups of people. Social distance has a large range in the distance that it can incorporate, from 4 to 12 feet. It is clear that social distance depends on the situation. Social distance may be used among students, co-workers, or acquaintances. Generally, people within social distance do not engage in physical contact with one another. Example of social proxemics. Fourth one is public. Public space is a space that characterizes how close we sit or stand to someone, like a public figure or public speaker. So if you are at an event listening to a professor give a lecture, you are probably about 12 to 25 feet away. Examples of public proxemics. Now let's move to the next question. Question number 1B. Explain the importance of body language in communication. Body language as a language definition. Body language refers to various forms of non-verbal communication, wherein a person may reveal clues as to some unspoken intentions or feelings through their physical behavior. These behaviors can include posture, gestures, facial expressions, and eye movements. Body language also varies depending on the culture. There are a set of universally recognized gestures, but many are influenced by our social settings. Body language. Communicator. Send out, receive. Mode. Facial, body movement, tone of voice. Control. Vocabulary. Involuntary. Concordance. All modes send message in concordance. Disconcordance is lie. Body language is typically subconscious behavior and is therefore considered distinct from sign language, which is fully conscious and intentional act of communication. Body language may provide clues as to the attitude or state of mind of a person. For example, it may indicate aggression, attentiveness, boredom, a relaxed state, pleasure, amusement, and intoxication. Each person's body language is a bit different. Keep in mind that certain body language signals might mean something to one person and they might mean something entirely different to someone else. Anybody language differs culturally, which adds to the soup. Body language is the reason why selling face to face has a huge advantage over selling by phone. Body language can tell a lot about how you feel and what you are thinking. Body language is also a way of communication. There are estimates saying that 90% of all information given to others is communicated through body language. Our body language will give others an impression of ourselves or show out emotions. Body language can tell a lot about how you feel and what you are thinking. Body language is also a way of communication. If actions speak louder than words, then body language is shouting. According to Albert Mehrabian, one of the foremost experts in nonverbal communication, the visual depicts the nonverbal behavior while speaking. Mehrabian noted that if the message was inconsistent, the impact would be as follows: verbal 7%, vocal 38%, tone of voice and inflection, visual 55%, non-verbal physical behavior. This visual is the most controllable yet perhaps the most unconscious element of message from sender to receiver. If the message is consistent, then all three elements combine effectively. If there is excitement and enthusiasm in the voice correlated with an energetic, lively face and body that exudes confidence and conviction of the message. Now, type of body language. Voluntary body language. This is less commonly discussed because it seems unproblematic. It refers to movement, gestures, poses intentionally made by the person, smiling, imitating actions, and generally making movements with full or partial intention of making them and a realization of what they communicate. Involuntary body language. Facial expressions are often a form of involuntary body language and a means of one to read the expression and so expression of another. The vocabulary of body language. Body language, unlike spoken language, is inexact. So you have to be careful about how you interpret it. A certain movement or facial expression may be quite meaningful or it may mean nothing at all. As a starting point, the following section provide you some common body language terms like positive body language and negative body language. Types of non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is made up of four main categories: kinesics, proxemics, paralanguage, and chronomics. Kinesics or body language refers to the body movement in communication, such as facial expressions, eye contact, hand gestures, and touch. Proxemic refers to the study of the use of space in non-verbal communication, meaning anything from architecture and furniture to the distance between people who interact in a given situation. Paralanguage makes us all the sounds people produce with their voices that are not words, including laughter, tone, and pace of voice, and empty words and phrases such as and you know. Chronomics is a study of the use of time in non-verbal communication, including people's understanding of present, past, and future. Now, question number 3. Provide 5 suitable examples for each of the expressions often used in A. Expression agreement, and B. Expressing disagreement. Use them in sentence of your own. Expressing agreement and disagreement. Expressing agreement. I completely agree with you on this matter. I am in total agreement. I could agree with you more. I think you are absolutely correct. I think you are right. Expressing disagreement. I am sorry, but I do not quite agree with you on this. Can we consider this issue? That's totally out of question. I would say that if I were you. On the contrary. Agreeing and disagreeing. I agree, I don't agree. I agree with you 100%. I disagree. I agree with you entirely. I'm afraid that is not quite true. Absolutely, definitely, and exactly. I beg to differ. Fair enough. I cannot share this, that, the view. I completely or totally agree with you. I couldn't agree with you less. I am with you. I'm afraid I disagree. I approve it. I don't entirely agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. I don't entirely agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. I don't think so. I don't feel same. I feel same. I guess, I suppose. These are some examples given. The map is developed as per the production and design of the web. It will include the motive of a project that can be as per the product, the structure of the development of a website and how to organize the content, the user interface of designing the graphics, the website build layout or the format, the publishing and the procedure of the website. What is epidactic rhetoric or eulogy? Provide a few examples of the genre from your lessons. Epidactic rhetoric or epidactic oratory is ceremonial discourse, speech or writing that praises or blames someone or something. According to Aristotle, epidactic rhetoric or epidactic oratory is one of the 3 major branches of rhetoric, also known as demonstrative rhetoric and ceremonial discourse. Epidactic rhetoric includes funeral orations, obituaries, graduation and retirement speeches, letters of recommendation, and nominating speeches at political conventions. Interpreted more broadly, epidactic rhetoric may also include work of literature. Aims of epidactic rhetoric. If we speak in praise, if they do not know him, we shall try to make them, the audience, desire to know a man of such excellence, since the hearers of our eulogy have the same zeal for virtue as the subject of the eulogy had or now has. We hope easily to win the approval of his deeds from those whose approval we desire. The opposite, if it is censure, we shall try to make them know him, in order that they may avoid his wickedness. Since our hearers are unlike the subject of our censure, we express the hope that they will vigorously disapprove his way of life. Aristotle on epidactic, ceremonial rhetoric. The ceremonial orator is, properly speaking, concerned with the present, since all men praise or blame in view of the state of things existing at the time, though they often find it useful also to recall the past and to make guesses at the future. Orpha Winfrey's eulogy for Rosa Parks. And I'm here today to say a final thank you, Sister Rosa, for being a great woman who used your life to serve us all. That day that you refused to give up your seat on the bus, you, Sister Rosa, changed the trajectory of my life and the lives of so many other people in the world. I would not be standing here today, nor standing where I stand every day, had she not chosen to sit down. Had she not chosen to say, we shall not be moved. Another example of epidactic rhetoric, Daniel Webster in praise of John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Adams and Jefferson, I have said, are no more as human beings indeed. They are no more. They are no more as in 1776, bold and fearless advocates of independence. No more as at subsequent periods and head of the government. No more as we have recently seen them, aged and venerable objects of admiration and regard. They are no more, they are dead. But how little is there of the great and good which can die. To their country they yet live and live forever.